Nice kicks.
Thank you. They're not as clean as I would hope.
You know, that's what they're supposed to be now.
No.
They're supposed to be dirty.
I don't think so. I think you're thinking
Literally,
of Chucks.
the ones on the runway are now pre-dirtied.
Is that true?
Yes.
I don't like that.
Celine's making a canvas shoe.
Oh my gosh, they're doing the derelict thing from Zoolander?
That looks like it's been run over 18 times with a car. In any case, great shoes.
Appreciate it. All right, my name's Gary Braun. This is Screen Off Script. I'm here with Emmy Rossum talking about Furious on Hulu. First off, congrats on the show. It's genuinely so good.
Cool.
I could not stop watching it.
Thanks.
It's ridiculously good. First question I got is because it's such a intense show and because of the subject matter, the nuance that goes into it, I was really curious because how do you even prepare for something like this? Number one. But number two, how do you, is there anything that you look to performance-wise or anything you could reference or take something from where you brought it into your performance for this one?
Well, I liked that I had a very long runway on this. I had the idea to turn this old movie into a show, so I got to be. So I feel like I've been pregnant for 4 years with it, and now it's finally coming out. Everybody gets to meet my baby, so I'm really proud of it. And also, I got a lot of time to spend with former and current FBI agents and former and current detectives to do weapons training, to do interrogation techniques, to understand what the job does to you, what the camaraderie is, what the differences between those departments are, and just really understand it, build it from the inside out. And also work with psychologists, as I like to do with characters, to understand all the little nuances, and looking at a script is kind of like looking at a crime scene. Mm-hmm. So all the clues are there, but you really have to bring the story to life within yourself in order to tell it.
I thought the way there are so many nuances and the way your brain kind of goes through all these gymnastics while you're watching the show, I can imagine a psychologist is the best resource for this kind of situation. Because of how complicated the show is, I was just really curious because you're also a musician, multi-hyphenate, Knicks fan also.
Yeah.
If you could pick a companion album to pair with somebody to watch Furious and listen to that album, what would that album be?
Maybe not sonically, but the first thing that comes to mind is one of my favorite albums is Medusa, Annie Lennox, because there's so much Greek mythology in this show, and Annie Lennox is such an interesting, badass, vulnerable, fierce performer and singer-songwriter. So maybe that one.
You're such a talented singer too, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
You're so good. I envy people who are good singers. I always wanted to be. I try my best though. But also because this is such a big swing, and it is an intensely big swing, and like I mentioned, you do sing and you do all that kind of stuff. One thing I'm really curious is how do you overcome that voice in your head when you're trying to make these big swings to, not do the safe or sheltered choice and instead go for that?
I feel like you build a character from the script and from people that you come in contact with and from parts of yourself that you cannibalize that feel familiar. And I don't know. I don't think about the size of the swing when I'm taking it. I just do what feels right and true, and let other people decide about the size of the swing later. And also, that's why your director is there, right? Mm-hmm. Your director and your showrunner are there to say, let's swing it a little bit more this way or that way, and to kind of guide the process and help you shape it. You're not on an island.
But also, you're the one making so many choices.
Sure.
And it feels like, not just this, but in your career, it seems like persistence is such an important part of that.
Yeah.
Right? It's how do you get your mind around the idea of just keeping going?
Well, I love to be the underdog. I thrive as the underdog, and I love to challenge myself to do things I haven't done before and that others tell me might not be possible.
Yeah. Last question I got is for yourself, and the most difficult question you get all day. What's the coolest movie you've ever seen?
Oh.
And why?
The first Avatar, I would say, was pretty incredible. It was the most kind of viscerally embedded I've felt in an experience. Experiencing something that is truly, literally going to another world. But I would say the movie that I've watched the most in my life that has had the most impact on me in childhood was Mrs. Doubtfire.
How is Mrs. Doubtfire? I mean, no disrespect. I love Mrs.
Why
Doubtfire.
Mrs.
Why
Doubtfire?
cool? Why is it cool?
Well,
I'm so curious.
I think it's not cool by any means, but I think cool is all relevant, right? Cool is what makes you feel seen as a person. And when I was a kid growing up, not knowing my dad and wishing that my dad would care about me in the way that Robin Williams does about his kids in that movie, feeling seen and feeling like that was wish fulfillment for me, that felt cool to me. But also I was not a cool kid, so definitely don't have an answer for you like 7, which would be a much cooler answer.
No, I think you're.
I give you Avatar and Mrs. Doubtfire.
I
Like,
love
that's
that.
so lame.
No, these are great. I think Avatar is one of the coolest movies. It's like one of my favorite
All right,
experiences.
okay.
All right, number 1. But also Robin Williams, like the coolest guy in the world.
I thought so.
And to end that off, you are one of the coolest people. All right,
That's
don't
very
even trip.
nice. That's very nice.
But genuinely, thank you so much. And like, I can't wait for people to check out Furious. And wait to see what happens next. I hope it
Thanks.
just continues for a very long time because it's so fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
All right, my name's Gavir Braun. This is Screen Off Script. Today, I'm here with Scoot McNairy, Jake Lacy, and Quincy Tyler Bernstine to talk about Furious, which premieres with 3 episodes on Monday, July 27th. First off, guys, congratulations on the show.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so much.
I appreciate your time. You don't even know the tech issues I just had, guys.
Oh no. Oh no.
Don't worry. It's all good now. First off, congratulations on the show for real, because it actually is such a fantastic show. I got a chance to like just blow through it, and I just thought it was so awesome. One thing that really surprised me is how the show starts as like a serial killer mystery, but slowly you realize it's about like blurring the lines between justice and revenge. I'm curious for each of you. Was it just as gripping and surprising the first time you got a chance to actually read the script as it was for me as I was watching it?
I think that just knowing the world that Liz had created with Brian Kirk, as well as our pilot director, just the world that they had created and the darkness of it. I lost it.
Well, I'm gonna say yes, and I was riveted from the moment I read the script, and in fact, I read the sides for the audition before I read the script, and I was riveted, and I was like, I have to be a part of telling this story. And then every couple of weeks, I could not wait for the next script to come out. Liz is she's a genius, and she leads the audience on this like journey, and you think you're going this way, but no, you're actually going that way. And it was just like fascinating to see it unfold in real time. I was as riveted. I knew what was going on, and I was as riveted as, I hope the audiences will be.
Absolutely. Scoot, you got your thought back at all?
Yeah. I just like, just to add on to what she's saying, just the way that you did feel as an actor, that you thought you knew where your character was going, and how Liz's writing, all the twists and turns that she embedded into this, and also the subtleties of them, I just thought was really brilliant. So yeah, I did have somewhat of an understanding of where the character would go, but how he gets there and the steps forward and backwards that he takes to get there wasn't so clear cut and black and white. It was really gray. And then I sort of discovered that about sort of all the characters in the show. They were all living in this gray area of what's right, what's wrong, what's justice, what's not, what do you take into your own hands, what do you leave to others? And Liz did a great job at playing with that.
Genuinely. What about you, Jake? What like kind of drew you to this property?
I spoke with Liz and Emmy before coming on board, and I mean, I was a fan of Liz's writing, and most of the cast was already in place, and I was a huge fan of theirs, and so, I was already pretty excited at the notion of getting to work with these guys, and Liz kind of laid out this idea that Marshall, the guy that I play, is not a bad guy, but he's done some pretty bad things. And the piece of that was so interesting to me was some of these things he's done, he's justifying to himself and to others. And some of these things he regrets, like he's ashamed of that behavior and also doesn't know how to make up for it, to change that behavior, to not go back to the same broken tools he's been trying to use for the last 30 years. So that to me felt really nuanced and complex in a way that wasn't just like the bad boyfriend. And you're like, well, it's not interesting to watch or play. Like, why bother, you know? And
Yeah.
yeah, and to echo these guys, it's just like Liz's writing and the how complicated and complex these dynamics are, both personally and then professionally, where you have two trains running at the same time that is like these complex dynamics between people, and also a cat and mouse crime thriller genre piece. And those two things are influencing one another. The stress and trauma from one is like dictating the elements of the other. And it's just awesome. It's just great to be a part of it.
I completely agree. It genuinely does feel like you think you know everything that's about to happen, and then it completely just flips you on your own head. You know, like everything I think I expecting of it just completely goes the other way. When we're dealing with the FBI, we're dealing with the NYPD. Because that's always been such a fascinating aspect of TV and movies. Were there any shows or maybe even like specific performances that stood out to you guys as inspiration for either maybe like your characters or even just exploring the genre?
There's some documentaries that are mostly about homicide detective stories or murder cases or whatever that took place in New York. And there's so much rich characters of detectives from the 80s, 90s, 2000s that they're interviewing that I always found to be like super fascinating or interesting characters to open up on them.
Not a specific thing, but I read when Ray Liotta passed, this Dennis Lehane, who's a wonderful writer, and he talked about Liotta and said that he had like this innate quality where even when he played like a villain, you still saw the like charming little boy in him. And when he played a love interest, you weren't sure if you could totally trust him. And that is like, I loved Ray's work for my whole life. And anytime there's a role that's like this, I'm like, how can I just steal a little of what Ray did over 40 years of great work and try to like sneak it in here, you know? I
That's so
don't know
cool.
if that's an answer, but I'm like a shameless thief of people I admire to go like, I'm gonna take that, you know?
Yeah,
Steal.
the great one steal. Exactly. That's exactly
Great
what I thought
artist
of.
steal.
Yeah. The last the question I got real quick with you, Steve. You worked on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Do you have any memories from that time? Because I've seen you gush about Quentin Tarantino and your time during that. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm just curious if you have any thoughts about that or just memories.
I was only on that for a brief moment, and they didn't give me the script or anything. So I just showed up there. I knew my lines or whatever my scene. But Timothy Oliphant was so kind. He saw me from 100 yards away, and he was like, "Oh, I bet you $1,000 they didn't give Scoot the script." And so I see him walk all the way across the Western scene. He walks up to me. He's like, "Hey, Timothy, nice of you. So kind." And he's like, "They didn't give you the script, did they?" And I said, "No." And he was like, "All right, sit down. We got 10 minutes." And he filled me in on everything. So the whole experience of that project was incredibly memorable.
I love that. And you guys are so amazing in that. But genuinely, I'm so excited for people to check out the show. The way it just flows is just unbelievable. It's going to be such a hit, guys. You guys, congratulations on everything. And really looking forward to seeing the response. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.